He was once one of Asia's most beloved idols, a golden voice, a drama star, and a symbol of success. Park Yoochun, known to millions as a member of TVXQ and later JYJ, had everything: fame, money, and fans who adored him. But behind the polished smile of a K-pop superstar, a darker story was waiting to explode. In 2019, Yoochun's world came crashing down when he was arrested on drug charges after publicly denying his involvement. The shocking moment, when he tearfully swore his innocence on live television, only to later test positive for methamphetamine, became one of the most humiliating scandals in K-pop history. From world tours and red carpets to police interrogations and prison walls, Park Yoochun's life became a brutal story of downfall and disgrace. How did one of K-pop's brightest stars lose everything? And could a man once loved by millions ever find redemption? Park Yoochun was born on June 4, 1986, in Seoul, South Korea. His early life was not marked by privilege or glamour but by quiet hardship. When he was still a child, his family moved to the United States in search of better opportunities. Settling in Virginia, however, life abroad was far from easy. Yoochun's parents eventually divorced, and financial struggles became a defining part of his adolescence. Living in a foreign country as a Korean teenager was isolating. Yoochun worked part-time jobs to help support his family while still attending school. Yet, amid the difficulties, he found solace in music. He began writing lyrics and performing at small community events, developing a deep love for singing. Music wasn't just a passion, it was his way out. In 2001, Yoochun participated in a local singing contest organized by SM Entertainment's US branch. His smooth vocals and natural charm caught the attention of talent scouts. Soon after, he returned to South Korea to train under SM Entertainment, one of the country's most powerful entertainment agencies. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one that would propel him from a struggling teenager in Virginia to one of Asia's most recognized pop icons. Despite the excitement of debuting, Yoochun never forgot his roots. His relationship with his younger brother, Park Yoochun, remained strong. They would both later enter the entertainment industry. But behind his composed image, Yoochun carried the emotional weight of his fractured family and the pressure to succeed. These early struggles shaped the person he became, disciplined yet deeply fragile. Craving love and validation from fans and the public, it was a combination that would later make his rise meteoric, but his fall catastrophic. When Park Yoochun returned to South Korea as a teenager to train under SM Entertainment, he entered one of the most intense and competitive systems in the world. Life as a trainee was brutal: hours of vocal lessons, dance rehearsals, and strict diets, all under the constant scrutiny of the company's management. But Yoochun's natural musical talent quickly set him apart. His deep, emotional voice and fluent English made him stand out among other trainees. In 2003, after years of relentless training, Yoochun debuted as a member of TVXQ, Dong Bang Shin Ki, one of K-pop's first truly global boy bands. The group skyrocketed to fame almost overnight, captivating audiences across Asia with songs like Hug, Rising Sun and Miritich. Yoochun, known by his stage name Mickey Yoochun, became the group's emotional anchor, the member known for his soulful vocals, songwriting, and calm charisma. TVXQ wasn't just popular, they were a phenomenon. Their concerts sold out in minutes, their fanbase reached millions, and their influence expanded beyond South Korea into Japan, China, and Southeast Asia. Yoochun found himself living every trainee's dream, performing on world stages, winning awards, and gracing magazine covers. Yet, behind the glamour, cracks began to form. The group's grueling schedules, restrictive contracts, and internal tensions began taking a toll. By 2009, Yoochun, along with fellow members Jaejong and Junsu, filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment over unfair contract terms. The move shocked fans and effectively split TVXQ in two, an event that reshaped K-pop history. While the decision ended his time with TVXQ, It also marked a new beginning. Yoochun, Jaejong, and Junsu formed JYJ, a trio that would continue their careers independently. For the first time, Yoochun had artistic freedom, and he intended to use it. He began writing his own songs, exploring new genres, and soon expanded into acting. But though his career reached new creative heights, the relentless fame, pressure, and loneliness that came with it began to weigh heavily, foreshadowing the personal struggles that would one day consume him. After leaving SM Entertainment in 2009, Park Yoochun faced a crossroads. Many believed his career was over. Breaking away from a powerhouse label was considered professional suicide in the K-pop world. But instead of disappearing, he reinvented himself. With JYJ, alongside Jaejong and Junsu, Yoochun began a new era. Despite being blacklisted from major Korean television networks due to ongoing legal battles with SM, JYJ's fanbase remained fiercely loyal. Their albums, like The Beginning and In Heaven, sold hundreds of thousands of copies across Asia. Yoochun emerged as one of the group's creative forces, contributing lyrics and melodies that showcased a more mature, introspective sound. Yet it wasn't just music that elevated him, it was acting. In 2010, Yoochun made his television debut in the historical drama Sungkyunkwan Scandal. His performance as the charming scholar Lee Sun-jun captivated viewers and critics alike, earning him several awards, including Best New Actor. The show turned him from a pop star into a legitimate actor. And soon he became one of Korea's most sought-after leading men. Over the next few years, he starred in a string of hit dramas: Rooftop Prince, 2012, I Miss You, 2013, and 3 Days, 2014. His performances were praised for their depth and emotional range. Yoochun's image evolved. No longer just an idol, he was seen as a serious artist, capable of commanding both stage and screen. At the height of his fame, Yoochun's life seemed untouchable. He was adored by fans, respected by peers, and wealthy beyond imagination. He endorsed luxury brands, performed at sold-out concerts, and was hailed as one of the few K-pop idols to successfully cross over into acting. But success also brought isolation. Those close to him described a man constantly exhausted, struggling with anxiety and trust issues. The bright lights of fame that once energized him began to feel suffocating. Rumors of arrogance, temper, and excessive drinking surfaced. Still, nothing could have prepared the public for what would happen next. Just as Park Yoochun appeared to have mastered every corner of the entertainment world, his life began to unravel in a series of shocking scandals that would destroy everything he had built: his career, his reputation, and the love of millions of fans. Throughout his career, Park Yoochun maintained a carefully crafted image: soft-spoken, polite, and romantic. Fans adored him for his gentle charm and emotional sensitivity, especially after his roles in heartwarming dramas like Rooftop Prince and I Miss You. He was the perfect leading man, both on and off screen, yet behind that image was a man whose private relationships were far more complicated than anyone imagined. In the early years of his fame, Yoochun was rarely linked publicly to any woman. Like most idols, he lived under strict agency control, and dating was considered dangerous for his image. Still, whispers circulated about secret relationships with co-stars and fellow entertainers. None ever confirmed. Yoochun himself once admitted in an interview that he longed for a quiet, understanding woman who could see beyond his fame, but also confessed that he didn't believe such a relationship could survive in his world. Things changed dramatically in 2017, when Yoochun announced his engagement to Wong Ha-na, the granddaughter of the founder of Namyang Dairy Products, one of South Korea's most powerful conglomerates. The relationship shocked fans and the public alike. Some saw it as a fairy tale match between a pop idol and a chaebol heiress. Others viewed it as a sign that Yoochun had grown distant from his humble beginnings. Their romance, however, quickly turned toxic. Rumors of arguments, drug use, and manipulation surfaced in the tabloids. The couple's engagement was eventually called off, and what followed was a bitter public feud filled with accusations from both sides. In 2019, Wang Ha-na was arrested for drug use and implicated Yoochun in her case, claiming that he had supplied and used methamphetamine with her. Yoochun denied everything, in one of the most infamous press conferences in K-pop history. He tearfully swore his innocence before dozens of cameras, insisting that he had never used drugs and was willing to risk everything to prove it. But only days later, toxicology tests came back positive. The betrayal devastated his fans and destroyed what little credibility he had left. The scandal revealed the dark side of his personal life, a web of secrecy, addiction, and self-destruction that had been building behind the facade of success. His relationships, once hidden and romanticized, had become part of his downfall. Park Yoochun's love life wasn't the story of a man who couldn't find love, it was the story of a man who found it in all the wrong places, and lost himself in the process. The year 2019 marked one of the darkest chapters in K-pop history, and at the center of it was Park Yoochun. For years, he had been the picture of redemption, a talented singer, award-winning actor, and former idol who had survived the chaos of TVXQ's breakup and emerged stronger. But beneath the surface, cracks had long been forming. It all began when his ex-fiancée, Wang Ha-na, was arrested for drug use. During interrogation, she claimed that she had not only used methamphetamine but that Yoochun himself had supplied and taken the drug with her. The accusation sent shockwaves through South Korea. Yoochun was immediately called in for questioning, but his reaction stunned the nation even more. In a televised press conference that would become infamous, Yoochun appeared before dozens of reporters, weeping as he denied every allegation. "I have never used drugs in my life," he said through tears. "I'm willing to give up everything to prove my innocence." For a brief moment, fans believed him. His emotional plea seemed sincere, even heroic, but the truth was about to come crashing down. Days later, forensic results from the National Forensic Service confirmed the worst. Yoochun had tested positive for methamphetamine. The revelation ignited a firestorm. The public turned on him instantly. The same tears that had once moved audiences now seemed like a cruel act of deception. News outlets replayed his press conference alongside the test results, branding him a liar. Sponsors cut ties, broadcasters banned him, and former fans destroyed his albums and posters in the streets. As the investigation unfolded, police raided his home and seized security footage showing him meeting Wang Ha-na multiple times. The evidence painted a grim picture. Not only had he used drugs, but he had allegedly purchased and injected them several times. In April 2019, Yoochun was arrested. The image of the once beloved idol being led into the police station in handcuffs became one of the most defining moments of his downfall. The trial that followed was short but devastating. Yoochun confessed to drug use. Reversing his earlier denials, he admitted to purchasing methamphetamine 3 times and using it with Wang Ha-na. In July 2019, the court sentenced him to 10 months in prison and 2 years of probation. His entertainment company, Seija's Entertainment, immediately terminated his contract, and Yoochun held a press conference announcing his retirement from the entertainment industry. The fall was absolute. From topping charts and winning awards to being labeled a criminal, Yoochun's transformation was complete. His case became a symbol of hypocrisy in the Korean entertainment world, a warning of how fame could blind both stars and fans. But even beyond the legal punishment, the damage to his reputation was irreversible. His past work was pulled from streaming platforms, fan clubs disbanded, and television networks blacklisted him. The man who once represented K-pop's golden age was now its greatest cautionary tale. Park Yoochun's drug scandal wasn't just about addiction, it was about denial, pride, and the tragic illusion that he was untouchable. In a single year, he lost everything he had spent 2 decades building, and the world watched as one of K-pop's most beloved stars vanished into disgrace. The aftermath of Park Yoochun's drug scandal was nothing short of catastrophic. Once hailed as one of K-pop's golden boys, he became a national disgrace almost overnight. Every trace of his career, his songs, dramas, awards, and endorsements, disappeared from mainstream platforms. Fans who had once cheered his name now turned their backs, feeling betrayed by his lies and hypocrisy. The same media that once praised his angelic image now branded him the fallen idol. In July 2019, Yoochun was sentenced to 10 months in prison with 2 years of probation. Though his sentence was relatively light, the punishment from the public was far harsher. Korea's zero-tolerance culture toward drugs meant there was little room for sympathy. The nation that had once celebrated him now demanded his complete removal from the entertainment industry. After his release, Yoochun withdrew from public life. His management company cut all ties, and he announced his retirement, a statement meant to close the chapter on his career. But just months later, he quietly resurfaced online, sparking outrage. Through social media and small fan meetings in Thailand and Japan, he began rebuilding a loyal, if diminished, fan base. To some, it was an act of desperation. To others, it was a sign that he couldn't let go of the spotlight. In 2020, he released a photo book and even hinted at a musical comeback, insisting that he had changed. But Korean media and netizens were unforgiving. Every attempt at returning was met with harsh backlash, with commenters accusing him of exploiting international fans who were less aware of his crimes. The controversy grew so intense that Yoochun's agency issued multiple apologies on his behalf. Despite the criticism, Yoochun continued to seek redemption. In interviews, he spoke about his struggles with depression, addiction, and self-destruction. He expressed regret for his lies and promised to live an honest, humble life. Yet, many questioned the sincerity of his remorse. Each reappearance felt premature, as though he wanted forgiveness before earning it. Financially, he was no longer the millionaire idol he once was. Reports suggested he sold his luxury home to cover debts and legal expenses. His younger brother, actor Park Yoochun, publicly supported him, but even that sparked controversy. Yoochun's family ties and former friendships in the industry suffered under the weight of his scandal. Park Yoochun's attempts at a comeback remain one of the most debated in K-pop history. Can an artist once adored by millions truly return after breaking the trust of an entire nation? Or is he destined to live forever as a symbol of wasted talent and public betrayal? One thing is certain, in an industry built on perfection, Yoochun's story stands as a brutal reminder that fame is fragile, and redemption is never guaranteed. Today, Park Yoochun lives a quiet, uncertain life, a shadow of the superstar he once was. After years of scandals, courtrooms, and public outrage, the man who once performed in front of tens of thousands now spends most of his time away from the spotlight. Occasionally, he appears in overseas fan events or uploads on social media, but each post is met with divided reactions, sympathy from a small group of loyal fans and condemnation from the public that once idolized him. In interviews, Yoochun speaks softly, often expressing remorse for his past. He says he is learning to live honestly and grateful just to be alive. Yet, for many South Koreans, his words ring hollow. His reputation was built on sincerity and emotional connection, the very qualities that made his fall so devastating. The public still remembers his tearful denials during the 2019 drug scandal. And trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. While Yoochun insists he has no plans to return to mainstream entertainment in Korea, whispers of small projects in Japan and Southeast Asia continue to circulate. Whether these represent a genuine second chance or a stubborn refusal to let go of fame remains unclear. Culturally, his story stands as one of K-pop's most painful cautionary tales, a reminder of how quickly adoration can turn to disgust, and how the pedestal of fame can crumble overnight. For the younger generation of idols, Yoochun's name is a warning. No amount of talent can protect you from the consequences of your choices. And yet, even now, his life remains unfinished. Somewhere between redemption and ruin, Park Yoochun still searches for meaning beyond the applause, beyond the fame he once lived for. The question that lingers is one he may never escape. Can a man who lied to millions ever be forgiven? or will his legacy remain forever stained by the truth he tried so hard to hide?